I'm probably reviewed 7,000 about this book, but I wanted to talk to you about my 3 takeaways from this book. Number 1, if you have seen anything about Simon Sinek, it's the golden circle, right? Starting inside out. You know, and what I love, he talks about this book, of course, is why, right? Starting with the why. But in this golden circle, he has the why, he has the how, and then he has the what. And he talks about how leaders start with a why, how they start with a why, how they have this tug and this push and find success with the why. So many can find success with a how or a what. And a what could be, this is what this thing does, or this is how we're going to get it done. But it does not matter. In this book, unequivocally, success happens from those who have a why. If that's business, if that's personal, whatever it may be, it's with the why. One thing I love, he talked about, an example he talked about in his book, was he talked about when the MP3 first came out. Apple wasn't the first person to make MP3, but the people who made the first MP3, they were talking about, it's got this many gigabytes of space. It's got this storage. It does this. It takes the songs from this to that. They kept talking about the how or the what. This is what it does. This is how it does it, right? And then Apple got down to the why. They're like, hey, you want a lot of songs. We could put 1,000 songs in your pocket. And that matters to you. Why? Because you want songs in your pocket. And it's interesting like that. It's just literally the why. It was like, hey, your why, you want to listen to music? Got you. We got 1,000 songs we put in your pocket. And they didn't talk about storage. They didn't talk about anything. And I vividly remember when I got my first iPod Nano. iPod Nano was a Christmas. My parents bought it for me, and I remember being like, I didn't ask for it. And if anybody knows, previous to this, you had to listen to CDs. You had to, you may have had a cassette player. I had a cassette player, I had CDs, and you would have to switch all these CDs out. Even in my car, I had a 1 CD player, but some people had a 6 CD player. So you had to do all this work, and then, well, maybe you want to listen to this song on an album and another song. And I remember when I had an iPod and I started reloading it up, I was like, holy smokes, like, I get to put all these songs right here, like, wow, right? Like, wow. And it's just interesting how that blew up, and it just really, I'll never forget that. I still remember vividly that Christmas was the last gift I opened at night, and how I thought that was like the coolest thing that I got that I'd never asked of. That was incredible. The other thing, and a lot of it has to do with Apple's why, right? Their why is to change the game. And this was another way to change the game. And their why was, hey, we want to change the way music's done, right? They wanted to change the way music is done, and they actually did that. So their why permeates everything they did, and it permeated the device like the MP3. Another thing he talked about is how leadership, number 2 takeaway, leadership comes after trust.